When it comes to American cinema, the black man tends to have a pretty rough go when it comes down to the concept of death. I mean, think about it. When it comes down to horror, not only are we dealing with serial killers, but we're also still dealing with stereotypes. He who is black dies first. I'm about to expose that myth, and you coming with me.
Think I'm gonna be the scapegoat for the whole damn machine? Shit.
Truth be told, out of hundreds and hundreds of movies, we make a very small percentage of the first victim. So I'm nodding my hat to the top 10 black horror movie survivors of all time.
So long, John.
I'd like to start this off by saying the search is over.
At the 10th spot, we have Busta Rhymes playing Freddie Harris on Halloween Resurrection. But why the 10th spot, you might ask?
We are going to enter a mystery wrapped up inside of a riddle, inside of an enigma.
It's because this movie was so bad, I couldn't put it no higher on the list.
Why don't you just pat yourself on the back?
It's not your fault, Busta. There was never one point where he was really ever in danger. He was too swagged out. Not to mention, he was bullying Michael Myers. Who bullies Michael Myers?
Oh, shit, man. I ain't paying you to be Michael Myers. I'm playing Michael Myers.
See, not very nice. Add some karate moves, and Mike never stood a chance.
Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. Still on the ground. Next up at number 9, we got Ice Cube playing Danny Ain't No Bitch Rich from Anaconda. He from South Central and known to shank a fool. Can you imagine making it through the crack epidemic, gang violence, police brutality, and the Rodney King riots just to see some shit like this?
Oh, hell no!
While you can't say he got out unscathed, you can say that this boy's from the hood survival instinct, quick reflexes, and quick thinking kept him alive in dire situations in the Amazonian River. I mean, look at that shit. He getting wrapped like a burrito. Oh yeah, Jenny from the block did help. That's right, because Jenny from the block, she keep the Glock. And my boy Cube gets the dub.
Bitch.
At the number 8 spot, we have LL Cool J playing Sherman Dudley on Deep Blue Sea. This is a God-fearing brother. This brother undoubtedly signed up for a job to which he did not know the specifications of killer sharks that would be on the scene. I mean, look at him. Even in what could be his last moments, the only thing he wants to do is make sure that you have a very good breakfast.
We will begin with the perfect omelet, which is made with 2 eggs, not 3. Amateurs often add milk for density. This is a mistake.
These damn killer sharks put this man through it. They ate his bird, and they almost cooked him alive. Now, it's rare to see 2 black people in a very intimate horror movie like this, but we all know what happened to the other one. Damn, it still get me. Thankfully for Sherman, he believes in the God that rebukes fishy evil. As a result, he comes out atop of the food chain and has earned his right to deliver the movie's best one-liner.
Carter! Bring me some sushi!
Ah, well done, sir. Well done. At lucky number 7, we have Tyler in Child's Play 3 being played by Jeremy Silvers. Now this one hit home for me. As a little black kid, I thought when I turned off the horror movie I was safe because we were never attacked in them. No, the relationship between these two absolutely drove it home. Chucky is not racist. He'll take anybody's body.
Who the fuck are you?
Tyler, bitch. Better ask somebody. Now, while he wasn't a main character of the movie, he did have some parts that were very important to the story. I mean, excluding the plot hole that Chucky still can only transfer into the first body he told about, and that Andy's still alive. Plus, he keep a shank, just like Danny Ain't No Bitch Rich. Taught him well, Danny. You taught him well. Tyler had a hard run at the end. He was dealing with Chucky all by himself until Andy showed up. And if it wasn't for Andy putting the weight on his shoulders, I don't know if he would have made it out. But one thing is for sure, he ends this movie looking like a goddamn Mortal Kombat boss. Flawless victory. At number 6, we have Jada Pinkette-Smith playing Geraldine on Tales from the Crypt Demonite. Now, kids, remember, never stop at a random hotel for some R&R. You can get bacterial infections, you can get robbed, or there's the random chance you could run across an entire group of demons. At least he got a sense of humor about it.
That's me giving you the finger, asshole.
Ow! My feelings! Being caught in a holy war between demons and the protectors of the blood of Jesus, God, that can't be an easy pill to swallow. I mean, WWJD, he would want you to turn the other cheek.
Geraldine, you wouldn't hurt your old Uncle Willie now, would you, baby?
Well, damn, that's an entanglement.
What is the 5 fingers? Say to the face, slap!
In the name of Charlie Murphy, avenge her. Thank you, sir. Now bathing in the blood of the Holy Spirit, we have Geraldine confronting the master demon and letting him know I bring the heat and set it off as the final girl on the scene. We want all the smoke. A quick bath takes care of all that holiness, as cleanliness is next to godliness. This guy didn't want to deal with the blood on her. So what'd she do? Stab him in the eye, drink some of that holy scissor, and salsa dance. A quick dip makes Geraldine spit, and as a result of her best flash dance and Triple H impressions, that baddie goes bye-bye. At number 5, we have Brandy Norwood playing Carla Wilson on I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Tell me, are you excited to go to a secluded island and almost get murdered?
Yes. Yes.
You just
Yes!
Magic 96.7.
That's the enthusiasm I need to see! As the gang gets used to their tropical setting, a humongous monkey wrench gets thrown into the plan when bodies start piling up around the island. At which point Julie, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, has to come clean and tell her group, look, we killed this dude, he came back, and now we all about to get picked off like flies. And they always say, you never ask how things could get worse, because they always get worse.
All I know is that this is the worst vacation of my whole life. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm fucking horny, and personally I haven't seen one goddamn psycho killer.
Woo! Seeing is believing. After a few close calls and a couple of scuffles, they do lead you to believe that she gets taken out in one foul swoop from the handless killer. Turns out to be false though. She's well and alive and is ready to meet up with Julie so they can get the hell off the island. She survived thinking, the writers forgot about me, so the killer must have too.
Good job. Really good job.
At the number 4 spot, we have Edwin Hodge playing Dante Bishop on The Purge, the first movie in the franchise. Now, while he does die in one of the later movies, he does survive and make it out of this one. And that's partially because he a runner, he a track star. He gon' hit your house when purging gets hard. Now, being that The Purge is a national tradition in which all crime is legal within a certain time frame, when this guy shows up covered in blood, nobody knows what to think. And when Dad shows up, aka James Sandin, played by Ethan Hawke, a distraction is caused when a shootout begins between James and his daughter's boyfriend. I guess they were having some kind of family feud. Dante does escape and make a break for it, but then these guys show up to explain why he's running in the first place.
Our target escaped us, and several of your dear neighbors informed us that you, the Sandins, have inexplicably given him sanctuary. If you don't deliver him by the aforementioned time, we'll release the beast on him and on you.
Well, oh Lord! As James goes on the hunt for Dante, he finds him wrapped up nice and cozy cuddly with his daughter. I think he was reading her some bedtime stories. After an intense standoff, Dante lets him know about his psychic skills.
I am not dying tonight.
Damn, Dante, you good like Miss Cleo or somebody. After an intense standoff, Mrs. Sandin shows up to help even the odds. But her failed attempt leaves James and Dante scrambling for the gun. Dante gets shot, is left wounded, and tied up to deliver. But the Landis family picked a terrible night to be on CP time as the intruders have decided they're too late and made their way in. They put up a hard fight, but ultimately get overwhelmed and Mr. Landis himself ends up getting stabbed and wounded. The same neighbors that sold them out earlier end up coming to their aid, but only so that they can personally have a hand in the Landis family genocide. How's that for a twist? It looks like they're about to say goodbye. But before they do, I know they were thinking one last thing. What if there is a black man who's militarized that can actually come and save us? Oh wait, Dante's here!
Don't move.
Gee shit. Dante's moves give the family the opening that they need to survive through Purge night, and he ends up leaving just as fast as he showed up. Number 3 goes to Sanaa Lathan playing Lex Woods on Alien vs. Predator. Let me make something clear. Black people and extraterrestrial beings do not mix.
Welcome to Earth.
Normally in most sci-fi movies, we tend to be the first meal on the plate. Dog meat is exotic. They love to eat it. But when it comes down to predators, we actually tend to be pretty cool with them. Must be the dreads. I recognize your barber, homie. So Lex leads her team down to what she believes is an excavation site of an unidentified civilization. It's at this point they recognize they are not alone. And little do they know, but they about to all become some sexy xenomorph baby daddies and mommies. Come here, girl. Let me holler at your face. I wanna hug it. With the rest of her team being knocked up on fatal maternity leave, she decides she has to find a way out. And it's at this point that she gets a real good look at what she's up against. Ugh.
Oh, that's nasty.
Lex realizes that she's in the middle of an intergalactic hunting game between extraterrestrial species. That's when she's like, yo, I'll be a space blood, I'll be a space Krypt, I'll be a space Vatos Locos if you need. Here's the heat. Just let me get back to Earth. She proves she down with the set by taking out one of the xenomorphs in cold blood. That's when the Predator says, shit, you gonna be down with the set, I can't have you out here naked. Let me get you geared up real quick, girl. A little bit of tail and a whole lot of cranium, and girl, I'm gonna have you look as strong as vibranium. Predator say, let's get you out of here. They make their way to the surface, and with the queen on their ass, Lex turns on them 4x1 jets. You know what I'm saying? She got that relay speed. The queen had her on the ropes, and the Predator shows up to bail her out and leaves a pretty decent mark. But it's not long before the queen takes him out too, leaving Lex to be on her own yet again. Using her brains in her hands, she pops the top, leaving the alien doing the pop swing shuffle. He was talking about, help me please, help me please. And as the alien falls down to a very murky death, Lex looks over talking about, shit, I deserve this spot. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. At number 2, we have Daniel Kaluuya playing Chris Washington on the movie Get Out. You know when your weekend starts out like this.
Sir, can I see your license, please?
That you in for some bullshit. And that's fine. That's normal, business as usual, I get it. But when the parents hit him with this.
So how long has this been going on, this thing?
Well, that makes it just a little awkward, don't you think? Awkward! Maybe Chris would be a little bit more comfortable if you added a couple black people in there just to kind of even the playing field, you know what I mean? How about we introduce Georgina?
Hello.
Fuck, hi.
Damn, Georgina, you all right?
Oh, no. No.
Okay, maybe we should just see what Walter's up to. Oh, hell no. Is it too much to ask to have another conversation with the regular brother around this piece?
Get out!
I guess so. Chris only becomes more and more suspicious of his surroundings as things go on, and he recognizes it's time to go. But before he's able to make his escape, Mama Armitage decides she wants to spend a little bit more time with Chris, get a better understanding of his psyche, put him under some hypnosis.
Wait.
Imagine being of sound mind and body and spirit, and not being in control of your own body. Your mind is your own. Your thoughts are your own. But your body belongs to them. This is the sunken place. Sound like somewhere you might want to go?
No!
Didn't think so. Weird meeting with girlfriend's family and friends. Check. Weird touching with girlfriend's family and friends. Check. But when your girl got more black bodies than the BET Awards, I think that's when you gotta ask for the keys.
Where are those keys, Rose?
You know I can't give you the keys, right, babe?
I said, bitch.
Chris does what he can, but ultimately, he falls back under the hypnosis again. And at this point, gets carried out by the Armitage family as they discuss to be very careful with their vessel. It seems like they got bigger plans. The cynical plot unfolds itself when it's explained that the party earlier was actually an auction for Chris's body. That's right. Here to explain is Chris's participant in the transplant.
Phase 1 was the hypnotism. That's how they sedate you. Phase 2 is this. Mental preparation. It's basically a psychological pre-op. For phase 3, the transplantation. I want your eye, man.
That's right. Mr. Clean's pool-butt brother wants to take his brain and put it into Chris's body, leaving Chris with just a slight sliver of his consciousness while he's aware that somebody else is driving his body and living his life. Chris takes out the brother, then the daddy, then the mother, and then the brother again. And Rose didn't hear none of it because she's upstairs being weird eating segregated Fruit Loops. Chris escapes and drives away, and before he knows it, he's bumping into Georgina. But Chris is a good person at heart and, overcome with grief, decides to help her. He instantly regrets that decision as her wig slides off like a do-rag on a hot summer night, and her scar revealing to the audience what a successful transplant looks like. Walter and Rose catch up to Chris after the car crashes, and he pulls one more trick out of his bag. When he flashes his camera in Walter's eyes, it frees him from the sunken place, allowing him to dispose of Rose and also eventually himself. When Rose survives the shot, Chris, being the gentleman that he is, decides to lend a hand, or actually two. Just making sure you're nice and cozy, baby. When the red and blue lights show up, it leads you to think, man, I've seen this before, and I already know what's gonna happen. But it turns out, it's just Rod, illustrating the common sense that most black people use that keeps us out of these kind of scenarios in the first place.
I mean, I told you not to go in that house. How you find me?
I'm TS motherfucking A. We handle shit.
Subtle flex, baby.
It's time to announce the honorable mentions for the #1 spot. Starting with Ving Rhames playing Kenneth in Dawn of the Dead. Even zombies have enough sense to know not to catch this fade. Keith David playing Childs on The Thing, because the camp's on fire, but it's still not as hot as this Henny I'm sipping. Harold Perrineau playing Flynn in 28 Weeks Later, because this is what it looks like when your mom says I'm leaving your ass if you ain't here on time. These have been your honorable mentions for the #1 spot.
The #1 spot goes to Fool, played by Brandon Adams from The People Under the Stairs. At 13, he's smarter than most of the adults in these kind of films.
Listen, Leroy, this breaking and entering might not be so smart.
I mean, but nobody listens to you when you're 13, because when you're 13, you got a whole different list of problems.
13th birthday's unlucky anyway. Too old to get tit, too young to get ass.
That's one way to look at it. Now, Fool and Leroy does sound like a UPN sitcom, but these two are anything except a joke. They are here to rob the place. But something feels very eerie. It's almost like the house is alive itself. And that gets Leroy hot and bothered, baby.
I done busted this house's cherry.
Leroy's victory is short-lived as the dog attacks. He must smell some of them fresh Arby's meats that Ving Rhames always talking about. Fool distracts the dog and they're able to get away and barricade themselves. But as they try to make their escape, the owners of the house come home, leaving our boys with limited options out. They make their way to the back and are shocked at what they find. Not only is there no way out, but the Hellhound that made his way back in. Only the spirit of John Witherspoon could save him at a time like this.
I grab a dog, and I choke him, and I kick the shit out of him.
Not amused in the least bit, the dog goes back for Leroy Porkchop seconds, and Fool comes back to the rescue again, sacrificing himself for the greater good. And in great reciprocation and appreciation, Leroy promptly shows why he ain't shit.
No room. Find your own.
Damn, Leroy, that's cold, brother. And what goes around comes around, cause this dude pops out like, oh no, my brother, you got to get your own, prompting Leroy to leave his spot and get shot to death. Left all alone to his own means of survival, Fool tries to look for a way out. He does find his friend Spencer laid out, and Spencer ain't looking too hot. Spencer starts to slip away, but then it's shown that it's just something pulling him on the other side of the wall. Show some respect, will ya? That's more like it. Something's been using Spencer's fingers as some finger food. No pun intended. Fool encounters some nice people that just want to watch TV. And then he encounters this guy who just wants to make sure he lets him know, my brother, you got to get your own. Fool goes up. Fool comes down. Fool starts getting chased all around. A mysterious girl comes and opens the basement door, allowing Fool a narrow escape. There's no rest for the wicked. As soon as he gets done dealing with that basement issue, here comes this crazy-ass dog again.
God, what are they feeding you?
Spencer sandwich. Fool says to hell with this, you catching a fade. And that's when we get introduced to Mr. Robinson. And yeah, he's crazy, but his brain is no match for the back of a toilet. Fool lets Buddy know what time it is if he takes one more step.
You come in here and I'm gonna kick your ass.
And then, my brother, you got to, I know. Let's just get the hell out of here. I'll get my own later. Mr. Robertson sends the dog in after him once again. And that's when it's revealed that this house is basically a humongous labyrinth with space and traps. That dog is sliding like a DM till you BM late in the PM. The Robertsons are not amused. Mr. Get Your Own leads Fool to that young lady who helped earlier. This is Alice, played by AJ Langer, and she's here to explain why Mr. Get Your Own sounds like Evil Doodle Bob.
He doesn't talk much, does he? His tongue's cut out.
Oh man, don't trip. They only took a little bit off the top. Alice explains he got his little snip because he was calling for help.
Your father's one sick mother, you know that? Actually, your mother's one sick mother too.
Just calling it like I see it, mama. Mr. Robertson busts in the door waving the fo-fo. And Mrs. Robertson says those words that every kid dreads.
It is time to clean house!
I don't know what's scarier, her words or maybe just her face.
Total spring cleaning.
Definitely her face. Mrs. Robertson is upset because the kids that she's been kidnapping for all these years and been depriving food and sunlight are starting to misbehave. The nerve of them! I gave them a roof over their head. Sure, they're starving, but at least they're not wet. Mr. Robertson is downstairs whipping up some Leroy chops for the kiddos. They're nutritious and delicious. Now, it may seem really sad that that's what they're doing, but imagine what you'd look like without any food for 12 years except for human meat. You probably wouldn't look too good. Fool and Alice both escape their captive situations and go back to the labyrinth of the house looking for a way out. Mr. Robertson is back to his old tricks again, releasing Cujo here. And during his game of hokey pokey, Fool says, not this time. And Mr. Robertson ends up killing his own killer pup. Alice shows up looking like she wants all the smoke from Mrs. Robertson. Until this happens, that is.
Run, bitch!
Alice is lucky she's cool with the Foster brothers because they come to the rescue. And mainly they hungry. And they mad because Mrs. Robertson never got her own. The marathon of Get Your Own continues as they coming from the floorboards. They coming from the walls. They coming for her drawers. It's getting real in the field. Alice gets in a critical stab. And the rest is left to her boy band brothers, the Get Your Owns. You better believe they got theirs. Fool finds the tools that break all the rules as he packing more dynamite than JJ. Mr. Robinson come through dressed like he about to get fat and freaky, Pulp Fiction style. Fool gives Mr. Robinson an ultimatum.
You shoot me and you die too, man. And you better believe it.
See, Fool gets number 1 on this list because he strikes as much terror into the villain as the villain does into the audience. You ain't never seen another movie do it like this. And when you take into account his smartness, his toughness, and his will to survive, well, you see why he deserves to be here. Plus, he always keeps it 100.
I don't want to kill you, but I will because I don't like you much anyway.
Even sometimes $1.50.
I'm tired of fucking around, so either put the gun down now or kiss your ass goodbye, boy.
Robinson felt froggy, so he left, and Fool blew his ass sky high, leaving our villain to die in some poo-poo stew. Alice comes down the stairs to ask how much they should get in damages and trauma. Fool's reply is,
For like $1 million.
Did you like our list? Let us know in the comments below what you would do different. And feel free to like and subscribe before checking out the next video. This is your boy Scoop Alexander, signing off until next time with another Scoopy Snack.